Yeah, for
But
sure.
so we're gonna get into 2018, but first, wondering if you could see that right there.
Yeah, I can see it. I know
All
where this.
right.
I know what this is.
All right. So why don't we just watch it first?
Yeah, we'll watch first. We got some snow here in Missouri.
Oh, geez. Oh, man. I love that the lights. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right? I'm like, fuck it.
All right.
You
So,
know, I had a long day at work and I came home, parked the truck, got out, and then all I heard was, I'm like, and I looked and I just started laughing. I'm like, what can I do? Like, that's the kind of day I'm having right now. I'm just like, what the fuck? And I went back inside and that was it. I came out, everybody asked me, like, did you leave it there? I moved it eventually, but it sat there for a minute in the street.
yeah, that should be all right there. Dude, what are
I
you
live on a
talking
cul-de-sac.
about?
I live on a dead end cul-de-sac. It's fine. I live up in the,
Ah, so
yeah,
you
it's not
ruined
a,
it there. But no, no, no. So this is ice, but look, dog, this looks dry as a bone, bro.
just where, but the ice is on the other side. So it was weird. Like one side was sliding, the other side
It
was
looks,
rolling.
yeah, it looks like the truck could have been at an angle, and the angle that the back left tire was at was like on just nothing but
It was
ice.
it was on a sheet of ice, man. I
Wow. Oh man. Let me
I
see if
got
I.
another video of my girlfriend eating shit, absolute shit on the side of the truck like 2 days before that too, as she's talking trash to me.
Well, I was like mad curious about this, so I had to dig a little deeper. And actually, I actually got to have a conversation with your truck. Can you see that?
What the fuck? Oh, okay, yeah. He's calling in.
Yeah, I had a conversation with him. You want to hear it real quick?
Yeah, yeah. Please, I'd love to hear this.
Okay.
Hey, Jay's truck, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here to clear my name. That son of a bitch lied on me.
Oh, shit. Oh, all right. Well, hold on. Well, what is your name?
Phantom truck.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Your name, hold on. Your name is Phantom Truck?
Yes, Phantom truck. Why?
No, nothing. It kind of seems like Phantom Truck maybe seems like you plan to be a driverless vehicle?
Whoa, hey, buddy. Now that's a bunch of bullshit. It's called Phantom truck and I'm around like a phantom.
All right. Sorry, Phantom Truck.
Dude,
Tell us what happened. Wait, what's that revving sound in the background? What is that?
I had me an oil change earlier. Still feeling the after effects, if you know what I mean.
Oh, damn.
Right, right. I mean, you are a vehicle. I guess, though, I am starting to see why you backed out of a driveway for absolutely no reason with nobody operating you. All right, so tell us what happened, Phantom Truck.
Well, I had a long day idling. Like I said, we got done doing the oil change. It's coming down the road, and I ain't had much to drink that day. I was running on empty. You know what I mean? So we pull up the driveway. He gets out of the truck,
actual footage of incident.
and not only that, he gonna walk inside the house when he see me rolling freely down the driveway. I could have been hit by another car.
I did see him do that, and I'm very sorry that happened to you, but you mentioned not having gas or drink or whatever energy and being on empty. Do you think maybe you were a little mad that he didn't get gas for you, and maybe that's why you decided to kind of back yourself on out of the.
He go on that bullshit again. I told you he didn't put me in park.
All right, I mean, just saying, judging by Phantom Truck. All right, look, we gotta go. Thank you, Phantom Truck.
All right, take care now. Tell Jay no hard feelings, man. I'ma still try my best for him.
There you go.
I hope so, because she's about paid off.
Well, a little bit of a different side of the story.
Oh, okay, good. Hold on 1 second, because it
Here we
pops up
go.
every
Here
time.
we go. This is your first meeting of Jay. I'm not Doug. This is it, bro. This is all right. Rampage of 78 here. Alex, and I'm with Jay, my man Jay.
Let's go.
Yeah, so I've known Jay for like a long ass time. He's a big ass Myers fan, and I didn't mean it like that.
I mean, I'm a little thick, but fuck, damn, dude.
No. He's a huge Myers fan. We've been so close for so long. I'm so happy to do this with him. We're probably gonna do more of these together because we're just like, fuck it. We want to. I keep swearing.
It's kind
Uh,
of fun. We have a
we-
good time.
yeah, exactly. So today we're just gonna be reviewing Halloween 2018. We tried to do this before, but we figured let's do Halloween 2018 in one. Then maybe we can go to kills if we have fun, a good time, which we will on this. And then maybe we could even get to ends and we'll do other stuff too, whatever you guys want us to do. But for now, we're gonna do 18, then kills, then ends. And you have anything real quick you want to say before I hop into it? It's so putting you on the spot there.
Yeah, I'm just happy to be here. Let's get started.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. I love it. All right, so I mean, Halloween 2018, the excitement level was wild because we had Halloween Returns and then it kind of morphed into Halloween 2018. We had found out that Jamie Lee Curtis and Nick Castle were reprising their roles as Michael Myers, Laurie Strode. And that was crazy, bro. It'd been
The
such
hype was
long-
massive.
Yeah,
The hype was massive leading up to this movie. I mean, everybody was excited. I remember when I sat down in the theater to watch this thing for the first time, I had to cover my mouth because I was smiling like a dweeb, like, oh, this is happening. It's finally happening.
yeah.
And I don't. This is the first time I've ever told anybody that, and I feel like an
No, it's
absolute
all good.
nerd. But literally, I had to go like this because I was like,
My Halloween Kills
so
theater
excited.
story, my Halloween Kills theater experience is far more embarrassing than that. But we won't get into it. So let's we're gonna
We'll save
start.
that for when we do kills.
Yeah, of course. And we're not gonna go through the whole movie, but we'll kind of go through the whole movie, but not really. So I mean, I have some notes here and stuff like that, and so we'll start with the opening there, where you have Dr. Sartain, Aaron Corey, and his assistant there, and their investigative journalist. Now, I cringe even saying that. I shouldn't have done that. I might even bleep that. I can't stand
We're
that.
running a podcast. We're investigative journalists.
So, it's 40 years after 1978. None of the sequels exist. Michael's in an asylum, and Jamie Lee Curtis is, back for the first time since like Resurrection. So, this was like insane. So that's your premise, really. That's what the story was to be, and that's what we had found out. It wasn't going to be Gary Hunt anymore in Halloween Returns with Dr. Rogers. It wasn't going to be
Another sequel.
my man Douglas Tate as Michael Myers. Man, I love that dude. Can't wait to interview him. So
Yes.
in the opening was good. It's the first time in years that you're seeing this, so you're excited. A lot of people are they didn't like the trilogy, so now they're going back and disregarding what they originally felt in 18. And I would encourage those people to remember what you originally felt when you were first watching this. And basically Aaron is brought to Michael by the staff, by Sartain. I call him Shartain. And he goes on some sort of diatribe and sort of gets all the workers riled up with the mask and stuff like that. And
Figaro.
Figaro.
I still don't understand what that guy was doing or why the fuck he was there. But
if I was the staff member or Sartain, I'd be like, congratulations, we've been trying to get that motherfucker to calm down all day. Now you got fucking Figaro all worked up. What the fuck?
Yeah. He's been yelling that all day.
But to touch on that real quick, that's your opening basically is Aaron teasing Michael with the mask there. And do you want to just go into our thoughts immediately on each of the subjects? Because if you sort of go through the whole movie and then it's kind of boring. So I guess we'll just go along.
Yeah.
What do you think of that opening right there?
So the opening, a whole lot of nothing. A big hoopla for a man just standing there ignoring them, essentially. He doesn't react. He doesn't do anything. There's a big buildup, and then it cuts to the intro.
Okay.
It kind of fell flat.
Well, the reviving pumpkin was hard. Pumping. Remember King of Queens? He's eating stuffing and pumpkin pie. The kid doesn't know how to spell. All right. Anyways, yeah. I mean, I have a slight problem with the not the pumpkin shit and the letters being classic. That and the music is just out of this world fire.
The openings,
You got
the
John
intro
Carpenter
scene,
back.
the title scene is good with the pumpkin. I like that.
Yeah.
It's just the actual scene of the movie
Yeah.
They do
And
this big build up for nothing to me.
so we sort of have to go through this next bit to get to why I wasn't really a big fan of that part. And so, he's got the girl with him, and so now we're meeting Lori, and she sort of lives in this trap, not a trap house like crackheads and shit, but like like a house that's full of whatever.
The
It's like
booby trap.
it's like a compound almost, right? And they roll up there trying to convince Lori to let them in, whatever. She lets them in, bribes them with money and shit. Um, and so basically a lot of people don't understand that the objective of them going there was they wanted her to meet Michael.
They wanted her to go and say all the things you never said.
That you've been longed
And
for.
yeah, and she's like, I don't want anywhere near him.
Ding question. But now think about this. This is why I had a problem with the beginning, because it would then later progress, and then she would say, "You don't believe in the boogeyman," and Aaron said, "I believe in a serial killer. I believe in a deranged serial killer, Michael Myers, but the boogeyman, not so much." And she's like, "You should," and it's like, Doug, what do you mean you don't believe in the boogeyman? You were just standing behind the line. You didn't cross the line. You know he's in cuffs. You're holding the mask up to him like he's some sort of entity, and you could feel the mask. If he's a normal killer, none of that shit matters. You already
Correct.
know he's something more. So why are you? Of course, it's like that didn't make sense. That part, that's why I didn't like that. It was like uneventful, and generally with the beginning of a Halloween, it's almost like it's not like Scream where there has to be a kill, but there's usually something pretty eventful in the beginning.
Exciting. Michael escape something. The escape maybe should have taken place right from the jump.
Okay,
Yeah.
and you're right on track with what I was about to say, because I was going to say, yes, Lori, it doesn't make sense that she would want to go talk to Michael. But it also doesn't make sense that Michael, by happenstance, all this shit leads to him finding her once again. No, man. I would have liked for Lori for some reason to had to go see Michael. Maybe she does want to get this face to face off, and if she sees him, that's it, bro. He's gonna go crazy. So it's like
Yes.
maybe she does make that mistake to go see him. And what did I write down? Because I wrote, I thought, now, of course, out of character for Lori, right? I wrote down, but if she did go meet Michael for whatever reason, Allison in parentheses, so something to do with Allison, if they offered her like 20 grand to go see Michael, and that's the rest of Allison's college debt, Lori's probably going to do it, dude, because she loves Allison and she gave her the $3,000. So why not? That could have been that could have been their connection to why Michael meets her, but I think I'm going on a little too much on it.
No, I feel like they didn't do that because later down the line they reveal that Michael wasn't actually stalking Lori. Sarah Tan brought them together, and I think they were trying to, for whatever reason, they shoved the Lori thing down our throats, and then as the series progresses, they try to get away from her a little bit. But like she's still there.
Then
but
they go
try to-
back. But then they go
Yeah,
back.
Yes, and then she's like she's baking pumpkins or pumpkin pies and shit. Like,
All right.
I think the entire trilogy
cut
can
you
be
off there.
described
All right,
as
stop talking.
contradictory.
I
What's
didn't-
that?
I was like, all right. I was saying I didn't mean to say that because it sounded like I was saying, all right, stop talking. I didn't mean that, bro.
Oh, I'm gonna keep talking. You're not gonna get me to shut
No,
up.
no. But even if you were, I was saying all right because I thought you were done, and then you had another thought, and I was like, oh, better shut up because I don't want to sound like I'm trying to tell him to fuck himself. So what do we?
Which he will.
Yeah. All right. So basically, we'll fast forward a little bit. We'll do the scene. Now we're here with we meet like Ray and all of them and her family. And before I talk a little bit about Ray, I want to say that I do love him as an actor, and I did love Ray. I did fucking love Ray as a character, and I did think he was a good character.
He was great in Revenge of Remember the Titans.
What did you think about him in 18 though? You thought he was a good like character?
I think he's a great actor. His delivery is great. I feel like they kind of, again, it's the Halloween thing. They character development just really never came around. They didn't really give him any good lines to deliver.
Yeah. So the peanut butter and the penis thing it doesn't fly with me. I can't in any world understand why you would joke about your male sexual parts with your daughter. And then after that, he progresses further and says, then you get pregnant. Now it's like, now you're talking about people impregnating your dog. if this was the 90s, 70s, 80s, and it was supposed to be in that time frame, I get it. But in this time, it's like, I mean, especially your wife is Karen. Opposites attract, and clearly he was not like Karen. But it's like, I felt that was a bit much, dude. That was like a Danny McBride stamp almost. That I was like,
100%. Apparently, his character through the whole series, they lead him out. They make him as a peyote smoking
which is
hippie.
funny.
You know what I mean? Which explains
Yeah.
his kind of demeanor. But it's just, I guess, if you don't understand what kind of dynamic is going on, and you just watch from the outside, you're like, that was awkward.
And I love this point I made here because I said it's not that Ray comes off creepy or pedo-ish. It's just a good example of a pattern to the Blumhouse movies and the way they try to shoehorn in comedy where it's,
Not needed.
well, comedy might have been needed there because now we're meeting the family, but it's like it's not needed. You're right, but it's not. It's almost like it's not needed in a different sense. It's like, dude, that's yeah, we need comedy there, but not like weird shit.
More
like that.
natural
Yes.
comedy.
Yes, like how a human would act, bro. Because I think that's a problem with Blumhouse is, bro, people don't act like that. And if you go back to the original 78 with Loomis's interview, he's like, I don't understand how people could possibly behave this way, but it's John Carpenter's vision and it's his film, and I have to do what he says. Like, that shit blew my mind. I always thought Loomis was like, I love this. This is amazing. But when you go back and you realize that he didn't like the script and he was like, I can't believe people act like this, but it's your movie and my daughter loves you.
Yeah, and it was a cash grab a little bit for Donald Pleasance at the time, which I get it. But
Well, he
again,
later fell in love with Michael, though. I'll do Halloween,
it's what he's known for.
Yeah,
It's
it
who he
was,
is.
so amazing, dude.
I mean, I feel like there was enough comedy. Like the first thing he does, he opens that cabinet. Back to Ray, opens the cabinet.
Okay,
what's he
yeah,
say?
yeah.
He's like, "You want to shit under my sink? I'm gonna murder you and your whole family." Like that's kind of funny. That was funny.
Exactly. You
know
want
what
to
I
shit
mean?
under my sink?
Like that's a real dad that doesn't, is worried about the mice under his sink and
That was
his
fun.
garden and
That was fun. That worked. I like that, and that's good that we're going through pros and cons because, we don't
like
want
I
to.
told you, we're gonna find some pros.
We
in all
love
these
2018, bro. It's just what the fuck.
I did.
That's
There
it.
was some questionable calls in there, but
So-
I did. Out of all three of them, it's by far my favorite. Fans will disagree. Everybody will say kills, kills, kills. That's a whole nother.
Kills and 18 are like the two that it's not ends, unfortunately.
I would like
it's
to
always
edit
one of
those
those
into one like 2.5 hour movie. You know what I mean? Cut some stuff out, just
All
slice
right.
them into one movie. But anyway,
Why do I keep saying all right? I'm sorry.
because you're sick of fucking listening to me ramble, dude.
No, we need that. We need banter, bro. Nobody wants to just hear fucking rifling off of bullshit. We need real people in this motherfucker.
Yeah, dude. And we want to hear Boston ass Alex say fucking Michael Myers like 30
I don't
times.
say it like that, you prick. Like, Doug, first of all, you said that I said car like car. It's like, bro, I say car like a normal person, bro. I did notice earlier, though, that it gets dragged out, and then I say the R at the very end.
Yeah, car.
Car, whatever, dude.
Car, fucking cat.
Don't expose me. Bro. Okay, so let's get back to the formula, dude.
Yes, back to back. We digress yet again.
You missed the cue, you asshole. All right.
Oh, fuck, the formula. It's a very simple formula.
Dude,
All right.
everybody's a suspect. All right.
Yeah, I've been drinking.
Okay.
You're
So
telling me
let's.
that's not a killer?
You tell me that's not a fucking killer? I mean, that's a car salesman, but damn. Kind of the same thing. All right, now I'm playing with you, buddy. All right, so let's get to Allison. Allison and the friends walk, and now this is the scene where Allison is walking, and this is where you find out that Michael and Laurie aren't actually brother and sister. And ready? No, that's just a bit that some people made up to feel better about themselves. It's like, dude, you're a better actress than that. Don't use that take. You're a better actress. And she's from Framingham. She's a doll, dude.
How do we know that that's not the one they just chose out of the edit? You know what I mean? They shot it several times.
But
sometimes you don't, whatever.
So then we get into a little bit of walking further, and Dave says some dumbass shit. It's, to be real, I mean, it's just like, is that really that big of a deal? He just murdered like 5 people, and then Vicky gets fucking pissed at him.
Upset. She's like, shut up, Dave. Which you and I have different takes on this. Because you agree, you think that that's a big deal. That would be a big deal.
I
to
love
me,
this.
I get
Okay,
kind of
you
what
go
he's saying in
first.
the world of mass shootings and people fucking running people over with cars. Like
Yeah.
it's in the scheme of things that happened 40 years ago. And now again, I don't live in a town of 600 or whatever Haddonfield's supposed to be. So I'm sure that's still
Yeah.
a huge deal in that town. But I
Yeah.
kind of get where he's coming from, where he's like,
Mhm.
it's not really that big of a deal. And then they're like, shut up, Dave, you're putting your fucking foot in your mouth and you're saying clearly she's getting pissed
Dude,
off.
you're going like
And then
this.
to end it all, he's like,
Hold up.
want to see
You're
a
going
second.
like
Didn't you
this.
just piss her off?
No, you just went for like a good 20 seconds there.
Am I good? Am I back?
Yeah, now when you're doing this dumbass shit, you're
We
just
good?
fucking 100% visible all of a sudden. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh fuck, that was like a 10-second delay. I did that. I was like, am I good? And then I'm over here looking fucking tatted.
No, you're good, bro. I just didn't want you to keep going when it was going.
Are we still on a delay here?
No, everything should be fine. So, you were talking about we're talking about the mass murder thing, and the reason that I thought it was like sort of a big deal is because the tragedy involved is sort of like on a bigger scale, because it's like this is a crazy guy that got out of uh escaped out of a mental asylum and was yeah, it's a mass murder, but generally these school shootings and stuff is all in one bang. They go get their rocks off, kill themselves, or get killed, get brought into custody, whatever the F tragic thing happens in the end. But for something like Michael Myers, it's like, yo, this dude was like the BTK. He didn't have 100 something victims, but he's hiding in houses to not be caught all day and to just keep doing this. And it's not that I disagree with you, because I did see, if you watch the first 48, there's literally a Halloween special with a guy that was killing prostitutes on Halloween, and it was like, I was like, all right, well, he did it. But it is just, I don't think it'd be something that would be he might not have been the most prolific, like the biggest. BTK might have still been bigger than Michael Myers, but I think Michael still would have been mentioned with those guys.
I think I'm thinking of it on a national level and not, your small town in Midwest. Because
Yeah.
I live outside of some small towns. I mean, I don't live in a big town, population like 5,000 or 6,000, 4,000 or something, but you know what I mean? Like,
But also think about how bizarre that is, that he's wearing a human mask. That'd be a detail in the Dateline story. That's
it would be creepy. Don't get me wrong, it would be creepy. I
It's
get
like
it. Why
Endgame.
I see both points.
Yeah, yeah,
And I think to keep that scene short and not end up in an argument, they
yeah,
just again, Danny McBride ended on
yeah.
a comedic note, and we'll blow this pumpkin up and we'll go to school. You know what I mean?
Well,
And then
and I do want to. I'm not disagreeing with Jay that that scene doesn't work, because I think that a kid would say that.
I mean, you got to keep in mind these are 17 and 18-year-old kids. So
I'm
they're
not
just
saying a
dumb.
kid. I'm not saying a kid wouldn't say that. I'm saying if I was the adult walking next to him, I would tell him why it's a fucking big deal. Is all I was saying.
Now you sound old. You're like, I'll tell those kids.
Ha!
Okay.
You better get the fuck off my lawn, little soldier. Poke you with my goddamn cane. Got my goddamn whiskey. All right.
My pumpkin.
Your truck is like is kind of like that. I was on the phone with him. He was fucking definitely from the south. So now we meet Cameron, Oscar, and her sort of friends in the high school, and
Which, man, Oscar's got one of the most punchable faces on the planet.
yeah, he's
I
definitely,
can't help it. I try to watch it. He's putting that chapstick on, and he's just.
he's definitely got that I became something else face. Is that not kosher?
He looks like Rocky from Mask.
Oh damn. He looks like the fucking villain from The Mask, bro. When the dude puts it on, he starts spitting the bullets and nah, I'm just kidding. He actually doesn't look like that at all. But so yeah, we meet them. We meet Cameron, who's Allison's boyfriend, and
They portray him at first as a nice, sweet, wholesome boyfriend, which.
So I watched this and took notes. You keep going. You had anything else to say to that?
No, I think I find it interesting in the beginning. They paint him as this nice, wholesome boyfriend, and by the end of the movie, you kind of hope he gets killed a little bit.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, I wrote how bizarre. How bizarre. How bizarre.
How bizarre.
Spinning it. Oh, baby. It's driving
How
me
bizarre. How
every
bizarre.
time I look around. um, bizarre maybe in the sense that it's like, dog. But you know what it is, though? I then kind of retracted my own thought because I was like, you know what? Why am I pretending like I know how kids act that are 17 years old in high school in 2018?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I was like,
It's
I probably shouldn't do that. But it's like when you grow up on a certain way, that's how you expect shit to go. So it kind of skews your view sometimes. You're like,
yeah.
whoa,
We grew up in
we would
the
have never, even the kids we don't hang out with, even they don't act like this. And I do think some of that does ring true, that there are still many scenes with the kids where it's like, I still think this is a little off. Even
and
not
that's what
being in the
happens when a
know.
50-year-old man writes dialogue for 18-year-olds. And if
Whoa,
you're
whoa, whoa,
not
hold up,
Kevin,
hold up, hold up. Did you just call me 50 years old?
no, Kev, I'm talking about Danny McBride and coming up with the
Oh,
writers of the movie, dog, not you. Shit, you at least 40.
damn, dog. Shit.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Yo, that reminded me from Martin Lawrence when the dude knocks on the door.
Yeah, you're at least 30. That's exactly what it was.
I can't say the N-word reason, motherfucker.
yeah.
You at least 30.
You ever make love to a man?
He looked
You want
every
to?
bit of 35, dude. Oh man, great times. So then after that, it sort of shifts into Sarah Connor Laurie.
Yes, that was you. You put that well. As she full blown goes in Sarah Connor mode. She's shooting dummies. She's a weapons master, and apparently we find out later she has the ability to rig traps like nobody's business. Just hopped up off Activia or whatever that yogurt is that she be pushing.
Activia. Did you ever hear the fake commercial in our American Halloween too?
Yeah, I
The
do.
fake
Yeah,
Activia commercial. I thought that was funny, dude. That was me, bro.
that was me.
Yeah, well,
I
because it's a
love that.
female voice. It was funny. Yeah, so Lori with the guns and stuff. So before we move on, because it's like not much there, I thought if we came back in 2018, you see that Lori's a fucking detective. That would be so fire, and that would explain why Lori has all these guns and shit, and why she's a good marksman. Not just because she stands in the backyard shooting mannequins. It's because no, she has police academy. And after the Michael Myers shit, bro, that's the only way to really set your mind right is to be in some sort of military structure where you have no choice but to sort of conform and become this person of helping others.
I
Not
don't
everybody
think
goes like that. Not everybody goes like that, but it happened to me. That's why I got on the fire department.
I just don't think Lori would pass the mental aptitude test, the stability test.
Oh, you think there's some okay. All right, if you think
Like
there's one.
she could probably they couldn't paint her as crazy because she really deep down is she's a little fucked up. Yeah, and then because then she's like, I saw him, and they're
Why the
like, what are
fuck
you
is it
talking about? Remember?
mix those up? And I shouldn't it's like when you go by notes and not memory of the actual movie, which you already know is in
Yeah, I've watched it a few times, but I
anyway,
think so.
yes.
So we cut to the kid talking about dance, the dad, which is a weird scene again. Another trying to slide
Well,
comedy in more.
hold up though. We have like sort of a montage going through of Sartain saying he'll see his dude. I'm gonna see my duties through to the end. I'll stay with him.
Correct.
Is
Yes,
that
that
not before
happens.
that? So like I
That's when
thought,
they get on the bus because they're
dude, that was
transported.
fire. Cause I love obscure Michael Myers shit like that. So seeing Michael with no mask on being wheeled down the thing and he's like he's walking like Michael Myers up onto the bus. I thought that was some cool fanfare. Like
I like to unmask Michael throughout the series as
me
well,
too.
but not showing him full on. You get him from the side,
Yeah.
and I liked that. It was creepy. It made him human in the beginning.
No, but yeah, again, I thought that was so good, dude. Like Michael getting on the bus and him getting on the bus with Michael, and you have to wonder that he's like, I'm gonna get
Was
on
he
the bus.
doing it to see it through, or was he doing it to get him off that bus somehow
Yeah,
to get him back in the wild so he could
yeah,
see Michael Myers reacting and doing what he wanted to really see and what he studied
right.
about him his whole life in the wild?
Okay, so the kid is driving with his dad. You notice anything kind of weird about that off
Yeah.
the bat?
He just wants to dance. That's all I know.
No, no, no. That's, I mean, that it's whatever. I think it's a choice that it's like, I mean, okay, yeah, but so I'm with you on that, but it's actually not that I found was weird. Bro, his dad is like 60 years old.
And the kid's like 13.
You know, I want to go dancing with my friends. And it's like,
Listen, hey, I'm almost 40 and don't have a kid, so that could very well end up me one day. So you can't really
yeah,
judge. You know what I mean? Those shooters are still shooting out there. No, well, the funny thing is, I had somebody be like, "Oh, well, that's not real. What kind of kid's going to tell his dad he wants to do?" My best friend Steven's son does dance every Thursday, which is today, and he wants to hang out. But I'm always doing the podcast with you, so. But yeah, he does dance right by my house, and so it's a real thing. His son does dance. It does exist. Yes, you're laughing. My best friend's son does.
no, no, no.
do
I'm
dance.
saying I was laughing. Oh, I'm always doing the podcast with you. That's why I can't always be there.
Yeah, I can't hang out with my fucking actual friends because I'm hanging out with my imaginary internet friends.
In case he's watching, I'm going to use you as the scapegoat. Fine with me, bro. This movie has sort of a reoccurring theme where they don't really show you anything. Everything's off screen. So Michael escapes, and well, first of all, the kid's like, you know, the cop, instead of being like, "Stay with me, use my radio," is like uses the classic horror trope. Why, dude? Why?
Because he knew Michael wasn't fucking around. He just took out a whole bus of people. That
But
kid just
Michael was
blasted.
gone. He was gone. Because if he's in the car, he's not. The dude obviously seen him walk down the street. Whatever. Not a huge.
Was he gone though, or was he hiding in the woods waiting for an opportunity? You don't know.
Yeah.
He didn't know. All
Right.
he knows is that
Well,
guy
I just think
wrecked a bunch of people on a bus,
again.
and he didn't know where he was. So he was telling them just get out of there.
I didn't get to say this yet because we did this in the last video, but I'm very nitpicky on first responder stuff, and it comes overly nitpicky. So if you ever notice, it's always like a police officer or something, and I'm like, eh. It's usually something like that where what we were just talking about, where I go into that, and especially, but you know what? So then we go into Hawkins playing the arcade thing with the black dude there, and that dude is the man, bro. I love that dude. He's like, "You're not gonna beat my score," and then Hawkins is like, "Say that again." It doesn't matter what you do because you're not gonna beat my score. Like,
Yeah.
I love that banter. I think police do interact with people like that, especially if you're tight with your community. It doesn't even matter. The realism doesn't matter. We're watching a movie, but I love that scene for some reason. Weird stuff
Felt
sticks out.
authentic.
Yeah, and Frank Hawkins is like one of my favorite characters, dude. He's so good. And so then he gets the call that there's something going on in the highway, and he responds. And you know, he's like, "Officer down, not good." Like, send back up. And he's very good, man. He's very good. So he goes over to the bus and he sees that did he escape?
Did he escape after he gets blasted
Did
by
who
like a
escape?
308 deer rifle? He's
Did
still
who
alive
escape?
and kicking.
Yeah, did who escape? You know, I thought I was going to be bashing this movie a lot more than I am. That was actually, I love that. I love that. I'm not going to think of negatives for it. If I liked it, I liked it. And I thought all that stuff was great. Some of the choices may be a little more unrealistic. Like what Rob Zombie's Halloween did. We're not going to go into Rob Zombie's Halloween, but just a quick point is that Rob did hire police officers, firefighters. And I know they did this in Kills, but for 18, perhaps that would have a little more police training would have satisfied the inner nerd in me, like they did for Rob Zombie's Halloween. He did that and had real officers showing them how they were to move around the house. So, all right, dude. So what did you think of that escape? You think that was done well, or it's like I want to see it, bro. I want to see him kill people on the bus and then fucking get off.
Again, a big build up for nothing. We see the guy with the the pipe or the shotgun or whatever shoved down
Very
his
good
throat.
makeup. It's like you're wasting Chris's makeup, to be honest.
Yeah, and it's in the shadows a little bit as if
Yeah, I
like,
felt bad for
let's-
Christopher Nelson because he's so fucking amazing, dude.
let's see how that transpired, you know?
Right,
Let's see
exactly.
just a little bit of why everybody on that bus is so scared now. 'Cause
Right, right, right.
some shit just went down, and everybody's like, oh, everybody who's of sound mind is like, oh
Yeah.
shit. The crazies are just wandering. They're out there on the street, just wandering
All right,
around.
folks. So this is officially not a video. This is a special because we're gonna have to go through another one of these to get through the end of the movie. So let's try to. So now, oh my god, I love this. So we're at the hospital and hey, heard anything from Mr. Rip Van Winkle over here? And then we go into no, I haven't heard much. Take a look at this list. Many of these are fine, but here's my concern. A2201, Michael Myers, 40 years ago to this day. I was like, damn, that's hard as fuck. Like, I like that a lot, and I love Sheriff Barker, and it absolutely pains me what they did to him because he could have been so good, dude. Like,
They didn't give him enough scenes. He wasn't the main sheriff would be
Yeah.
pretty well involved in this whole thing, and he kind of just was a bit character with a couple one-liners.
well, but hey, what are we gonna do? Cancel Halloween?
Yeah, and then he just leaves.
I think okay. So we go to the gas station. You have a
Broad
resurrection.
daylight, which I like. I like broad
That's
daylight.
not bad.
spooky
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, because you would see in the later ones that might not be a commodity that you get, a luxury that you get anymore in the Blumhouse Halloween movies.
It's pretty much night from that point on.
Forever, almost, except
Like
for
every
Ents.
day.
Yeah. So right there, you get the resurrection on the van there. And so that's a little homage to Resurrection, which is 18 does suffer from a little bit of too much fan service.
A little too much. They didn't need. You can't ignore the sequels, but also slide homages to every sequel in the first movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you know what I just realized when I watched the other night? So we'll go into now. The guy's working on the truck, and he has the coveralls on, and he's outside the garage. I noticed that, but what I didn't notice was when Michael starts walking, he's actually following the guy.
Yeah, he's following him into the back bay of the garage to get his
Well, I
coveralls.
knew Michael was going to the back bay of the garage. I somehow missed the guy in the front frame. Him following him. But anyway, so you get that. She goes in and is sort of asking whatever. You see Michael beating the piss out of the guy in the background. Again, this whole deal here, the bathroom thing. Well, actually, let's not get in the bathroom quite yet. So
it pops up and says, "There we go." Because it puts.
What do you mean, Doug? Sit down.
It puts a big blue fucking splotch on the screen that says "recording it." Okay.
Yeah, I'm
And we're
good. Hit
back.
record. You're standing in the other corner of the room.
We're back.
All right. So let's go to the gas station kills, which I did like, but when I was originally talking to you about it, so he comes in, kills them all. You guys have seen it. We're actually going to stop going through the movie bit by bit. We'll just say the gas station scene or whatever it is. And if we think it's a detail you might not know unless we explain it, we'll explain it. But yeah. So we're in the gas station. You get that whole sequence. And I think what we were talking about was the notable thing there is he drops the teeth, which is like a playful thing that Michael Myers.
Yeah, he just drops a handful of teeth on her, and she's like, "Oh shit!"
I do like that because it's a new playful tactic that Michael has never really used before.
And slight homage to H2O when she's in the bathroom. The spiders.
Oh yeah. You
know, I don't know if that was deliberately done, but I feel like
yeah.
Lady in the bathroom with a
I would say yes, dude.
all grown up
yeah,
type
100%.
of thing. 40 years later, what if we find out the lady in the bathroom is the chick from H2O? That'd be wild. I doubt it, but we could dream, right?
Yeah. So, well, this is kind of what bugged me, dude, because now we're actually further into the movie than I thought, and so when Michael is just there, kind of makes you go, wait a minute. The happenstance of Aaron and her going there at the same time he's doing all, it almost is like, oh, this is a little far-fetched.
Depends on how small of a town it is. If there's only one gas station in the town, it's likely they could end up at the same place. It just we don't really have a relation on how big Haddonfield is or is not. We know it's a small town, but is it one of those small towns where everybody knows everybody, or is it one of those small towns like where it's a small town, but you still maybe you got a fucking Kohl's or a a Popeye's
Right.
chicken or something. I
That's
don't know.
smart.
Yeah, you got a super center. You
You got a
definitely got
Target
Walmart.
up in that motherfucker.
Yeah, they don't just have Dollar General. They got Walmart and Target.
Well, no, it was good, dude. And again, it's one of the, we get a death scene in the daytime, which we're not really privy to much after. So it's like Michael getting the mask in the car in the daytime.
Several of them, if you count the mechanic.
Yeah, I'm not saying it should have went like this. Whenever I give an idea, it's like, oh, this could have been cool type shit. Unless I'm like, no, you should have done it like this. But for this, it's not that. I'm like, this could have been cool. It's like if he had found the mask in the trunk before he entered to fucking confront her and put the teeth in there. The mask
So
gives it so you can show a little bit more. You could now show him behind the shoulder with the whole half of the mask.
I like that he didn't have the mask.
But that's why I'm saying that it also worked because that was cool too.
It works either way. I agree.
Yeah. But
I kinda
I'm just
like the
saying
way
I'm
they
a
did
big
it.
mask lover. Hold up.
And-
I'm a big mask, not hold up. But I have a point, and that's why.
No, yeah, I'll just go fuck myself. Go ahead.
All right, go fuck yourself because I'm a big mask lover, right? And you got to think of how long it'd been since we seen the mask. Exactly. And so are you, asshole. So it's like the first kills, maybe the mechanic's fine, but your first big kills, you're killing this podcast, or maybe it should be with the iconic mask. But the way they did it, it's fine. He goes out and gets the mask, closes the trunk. It's still
and then now it's nighttime and it's on.
Yeah.
He's back to himself. He got those kills under his belt. Now he's putting the mask on. Shit's about to hit the fan. I think that's why they chose to do it after. Like, he puts the mask on, and as he's closing the trunk lid, you can see the sun setting.
Yeah.
We're approaching nighttime, and here we go.
There's one scene in between that, and then you get Sheriff Barker and Hawkins going to the gas station and seeing what's up and seeing the carnage and shit, and Lori's just there stalking.
Yeah, being a creep. She's kind of in the way the whole movie. Like that, there's a scene later when she's kind of investigating after the long tracking shot, and she runs into Frank and she yells at Frank, the cop, who's the cop doing his fucking job. And she's like, God damn it, Frank. And he's like, oh, sorry. Like, he almost apologizes to her, which, again, no real cop's going to just take second.
Well, he does ask her what the fuck she's doing there. He's like,
yeah, why are you here? You're a civilian. Go home. This doesn't concern you. But instead, he's like, let's go look for Michael together because he wants to crack. He wants to holler at Lori. That's why.
What would have probably fixed all that is if Lori was a detective, like I was saying, but that's all right.
That could have tied together, but then.
No. So, well, yeah, so they do that, and then, the way we lead into night is Hawkins being like, there's a reason we're supposed to be scared of this night. And that's when it goes into the kids bumping into Michael, and you get the full sequence of Michael doing all that damage. Couple things bothered me about this, but I also understood it. So we're speaking about the one panning shot where he just goes, and the camera supposedly never comes off or whatever. It's like it's a one-shot deal, even though I think there's one cut in there that they admitted to. But
I think that's when he has the hammer.
Yeah.
He goes through the shed and then through the L rods and then around and up into that other house where the baby
and they have
is.
to. Well, and okay, so here we get him. He comes in with the hammer, and you're like, damn, it's on, bro. He's about to walk right up to her.
I got Mike right here with the hammer posed up instead of the knife. I prefer the hammer.
Oh, damn, bro. My fucking Michael got the knife. He does have a hammer, bro. It's upstairs, but
yeah, I got the knife over there, but I just feel like the hammer's such a brutal way.
Brutal. I used it in American Halloween too. He uses it on the SWAT team members. But that's why I didn't like it, because now it's another off-screen death. And first of all, he's using weapons in his left hand. Oh, Michael, who cares? No, bro, he's right-handed. I'm sorry, but that bothers me, dude. You ever seen a poster with Jason or Freddy where he has the glove on the wrong hand? And you're like, oh, that's a sick poster, but dude, the glove's on like the left hand. You ever seen that where it's like amazing? You've never seen that where it's like a good drawing of Jason or something, but for some reason they made him with the machete in the left hand instead of his right? I see that all the time, and I'm like, I don't
I'm probably
understand.
gonna start looking now that you said that. So thank you.
I see it all the time, and that's what it reminded me of. I'm like, dude, this reminds like what? But anyways, he walks by the baby. That's another point I want to touch on, and
And
they
you're
want to
like,
tickle your nuts there. It's like some people want to see that shit.
you're like, is he gonna do it? He's
Is
not
he
gonna
gonna
do
go
it.
for it? Is he gonna do it? And it's like, dog, I don't want to see him do it. I really don't.
You're like, I don't, but you're also like, well, this would be pretty fucked up.
But it's like, okay, so he has a limit then. Because
Yeah, he
before it was
doesn't
the lore, bro. The lore was fine before, where it was like he doesn't really mess with kids, dog, because they're not in his way or a threat. He just doesn't
track him back to
acknowledge
the
them.
bus scene though. He does kill
That's
that
what I'm saying
teenager.
is they destroyed that when they had him kill that kid, and
And
now
that
it's
kid's
like,
like probably 12, 13, 14 maybe.
which makes me think, did you kill this freaking innocent dancer kid so you could then later tease us with a baby thing and make us think maybe he'll do it?
Yes, yes, they did. I
I
think
don't,
that's exactly what they
man.
did.
I think that's stupid. But anyway, so he keeps going and continues for some reason to use the left knife walking around.
It cuts to the dance, right? We go to the dance.
I hate that
Yeah. I saw the
song.
feeling, yeah.
I'll shove my
I
penis
press my
into
call,
the
I
dirt.
don't care.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Is it that
Dude,
song?
that's what it is.
That's that song? Hey, that
Yeah.
mask is pretty scary though, that the chick just pops up on the screen with the bug eyes.
Yeah. And then also then there's just this random high school baddie in all body paint, which would probably never fly at a high school dance anyway. But anyway, yeah, and then some stuff goes down. There's a breakup scene. They gotta have some drama in there. He throws her phone into some fucking pudding or mayonnaise
And
or
she goes,
whatever.
what the fuck?
What the
It's
fuck?
like, what?
And
Dude.
he's like, "Oh, you gonna answer that? You gonna answer that?" And then she's like, "I'm done." And then
And then
that's the end
again,
of the
just
scene.
I'm sorry. It's like, aren't you still mad, dog? What? She's been like this. I don't understand why.
And we talked about that scene too, because he could have just easily been like, I don't know, dude, that girl in the tiger suit just kissed me. I wasn't even trying. I'm drunk. I wasn't.
Dude, doesn't he say like it's not a big deal? You don't have
He's
to
like,
like cry
she,
about
she,
it.
just, she just kissed me. It's not a big deal. Just want you to cry about it. Like, what? That's the way
that's like
wrong way to
something
play that.
Bro, that's something you say to like your little brother if you like make a scuff on his new shit. You're like, bro, it's not a big
he
deal.
was
Why don't you
drunk,
cry
maybe
about
it was
it?
his
Like,
first time getting drunk. He was. So then she leaves with fucking Rocky from The Mask, Rocky Dennison. And
oh yeah.
he immediately gets wrecked on by Michael Myers after the most awkward, like trying to make a move in cinema history. So awkward. That whole scene makes me cringe watching it when he tries to kiss her, and then he's just like, "But, and you're feeding me guacamole."
Well, that was fine until he started saying stupid shit, bro. That's where I was saying that I don't think some of the teen stuff flows. Oh, they were feeding me guacamole in sexy ways. You're still trying to be funny when you know she's pissed off. Motherfuckers don't do that.
Yeah, actually they do, because they're double down on like, ah ha ha, like no, it was a joke, like no. So I can see why he would start, because I'm one of those people when in awkward situations I'll crack a little jokey joke, and it's probably the wrong time. But
I guess I don't know the jokes he was. That's like they were feeding me guacamole in sexy ways. It's like, would you say that to a girl if you made the wrong move, bro?
I think it's just because that kid is so unlikable that like no matter what he says, it's not that he's unlikable. I don't know, something with that actor I just did not gel with. But
yeah,
in the later film, and probably the most empathy you'll have for a character is when his mom is at the hospital. That one's tough because she's just looking for her son the whole time.
Well, and it's not like we got to go home with Oscar and see his home life. If we went there and seen that he had a fucked up home life and he's just a kid trying to fit in or something, you'd be like, oh, Allison, fuck you, kiss him back. He's a good kid, right?
But it seems like he had a good.
Am I right about that though, or wrong?
A little bit, but nobody
if you
wants
spend more
sympathy.
time, well, let me clarify then. If you had spent more time with him, you would feel a little more bad with him if he was developed a little more. And that goes back to a big point I have, that the movie should have probably focused more on Allison and the kids.
And the teenagers, and not Laurie's 60 fucking or 40-year hunt for this guy who apparently doesn't even really know that she exists.
Laurie's fine, but it's and it's not fine. But I'm saying, like, I would say she's maybe not the major major. Just they try to focus on so much things and try to establish so many people, right?
And
That it gets a
didn't
little
really
convoluted.
develop any of them. So then, I mean, we can't hammer too much because we got to keep moving on this. So we're gonna run out of
Yeah,
time.
so Dave and Vicky, I would say we should go to that scene.
That's exactly where I was heading. Dave and Vicky, they show up. They carve pumpkins. They're gonna dry hump. It's gonna be frisky. You know, Julian's there. He's asleep.
I get that. You're so getting fucking dry humped because she's
Yeah.
you know a chick like that for sure. I know a chick like that that just spit the corniest jokes, but it's still funny and they're yeah, I get it. I get that. whole
One thing
side.
that bothered me about Dave, and this is from somebody who owns a motorcycle, is like he just goes out in the shed and starts this
Starts someone
random
else's
dude's
shit.
Harley,
Yeah.
and then just drops it on the ground and leaves it.
You know
Like
what I
that
thought was
scene
sweet,
bothered
though?
me tremendously. Like who the first of all, don't touch another man's motorcycle. Second
Yeah.
of all, you don't leave it laying on the fucking ground after you should have been touching in the first place. But he's dead anyway after that, so I guess it doesn't matter. But like Julian's dad's gonna come home and be like, "What the fuck happened to my motorcycle?"
You know what I thought was sweet when she says, you're a fucking loser. I babysit some pretty fucking loser kids," which I thought was a little harsh for kids, but again, I don't know how kids act these days. They are ruthless. And but I thought it was cute when she goes, "Hey, you know what? You're actually my favorite kid."
Yeah,
I
you're actually my
babysit."
favorite kid I babysat.
And
Yeah.
they got so that's why it upset me because I'm like, you know what? It's getting kind of serious, dude. Like that evoked some emotion in me, dude. Now I can invest a little harder, dude. Because like
That part didn't bother me too much because like I
no, it
that's
didn't
how I
bother me.
talk
I'm
to
saying it
people I
invoked
care about too. Like I'm like, yeah, fuck you, you know?
no, it invoked emotion in me. I'm saying it kind of started to get me invested when that happened because
Yeah,
I was
you're like, okay, these two clearly have a good relationship.
yes, I was like, this isn't just the
Regular
it
babysitter vibe. Go
they
to
could have
sleep. And
done
you're,
that, and that's fine. Maybe that is how it is. But
yeah,
it's like
she was no Laurie Strode. They weren't
yeah.
carving pumpkins and fucking watching Doctor Dementia. You know, she
But
was
to
like,
see that Vicky couldn't hold out too long without saying, you know what? I love that. I thought that was so great. And so fast forward, she gets killed. We have to fast forward a lot.
yeah,
So,
back to another off-screen kill again, like the fifth off-screen kill in
well, he's
just
like,
an hour.
the mask
He's
looks like a warlock there, too. It looks like this.
yeah, he's bobbed up against yeah, he's real wide face. No, not
Yeah.
that part. I'm talking about the boyfriend, Dave.
And I did
Because
rewatch it, and I do want to say that, yeah, I do think the music was a little too low when she opens the closet door. I rewatched it, and I was like, oh, yeah, I think
and
that's
we
fine.
touched on that before when you and I talked, but that was one thing that really bummed me out was they put too much to that in the trailer. So you
Yeah.
knew exactly what was coming. It wasn't as suspenseful or scary as it could have been had they just left it out.
So
I get they're
perfect. We
doing it
can.
to
That's actually perfect. We can close up. I can close the scene on what you just said because that happens, and then so we're in the same realm of like the end of there. So I thought it was all serious and becoming tragic that he was watching his babysitter die, and I thought that was fucking terrifying until he said, "Oh shit, he gonna kill you? Don't go up." Like I was like, "Nah, bro, nah." You
yeah.
just ruined. I know you said that didn't do much for you, and you thought it was funny, but to me, that ruined the tragic essence of that scene.
After rethinking about it, I get what you're saying now because he says that right after he watches this person that he clearly has a bond with just get murdered upstairs in his bedroom. And then he's just cracking jokes on the way down the steps for comedic relief when that's going to be a serious moment. There's enough time of
It's gonna
comedy
scar
before
you,
that
bro.
where we didn't need that.
Yeah,
It should have just been him flipping the switch to completely fucking terrified,
yeah.
real deal scared, acting, run down the steps like I'm out of here. Fuck you, Dave.
So basically, what happens? I'm gonna rifle through a lot of shit here, real quick, just to not wrap it up, but to wrap up the sort of review of the actual movie. Basically, what happens? You guys have all seen it. Sartain gets involved and ends up going with Hawkins to look for Michael. They find Michael walking on the side of the road, and they run Michael over. And that's where you get that Sartain awful thing. That's what we're going to go back and touch on after I'm done with this. Is that Sartain scene? I want to talk about that real quick. But then basically it's Sartain that brings Michael over to Laurie's scene. They have the happenstance. They trap him in the fucking basement basically after a long scene of Michael hiding in the house and her going through all the traps and stuff like that. There's death
Great
in
scene. The
between there.
sweeping
There's
of the
Ray's
house is a
death.
great scene.
Yeah, there's Ray's death in there. They find the officer, which is another. It's like wouldn't you love to see Michael cut someone's head off and put a light pen through it? But again, nothing shown there. Sartain dies, gets stomped in the head, and they set the basement on fire. He gets trapped, and the ending scene is basically them in the going to the truck, and Allison has the knife, so you don't know what's gonna happen next. Obviously, we'll save kills for next. But let's go back to so that's basically 2018. But let's go back to the Sartain thing. And the reason I think the Sartain thing really didn't hit is because Sartain's build is not that of a creepy serial killer. He's in a sheriff's jacket. And so what it reminded me of was a really brilliant idea that debuted awfully. And it was Kane's imposter. Kane had an imposter. And the Kane imposter came out and looked great, but it had like a Diana Ross frizzy wig.
Uh-huh.
And that was the first time you seen the imposter, and it just ruined everything. Even the next week, he looked great, had the wet hair, and it was too late. Everyone was like, "This is dead on arrival." So that's what I feel when he pops up, and it's he's got the mask and he's got one bum ass shoulder. Like I was
Yeah,
like,
because he
"Yo,
took a.
dude."
Yeah, you're like, what is this guy doing? What a freak! And then he immediately gets wrecked on, and then Michael stomps his face to the ground, and then like you said, the movie ends. But I
Which
feel
head
like
stomp did you like better, the Rob Zombie's head stomp or that head stomp? For me, I thought the Rob Zombie head stomp in H2 was a little more realistic.
yeah, Rob Zombies for sure. I mean, that one he squashed it like a pump. Like he's a 60-year-old man. You're not. No offense, you've been cooped up in an asylum for the last 40 years. You don't have that kind of athleticism to just stomp a dude's skull.
I would cut you off and say no, it's Michael Myers, but apparently in the next
Right now, he's just a regular guy. It seems like because the next one he turns into Uber Myers.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The next ones would prove that maybe it isn't. Yeah, I don't even want to get into that part. So basically, that's it, bro.
So we know the movie. Let's touch on positives.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's go back to obviously some shit. We're just gonna run the obviously time out here, but
I think
Sartain reminds me of Imposter Kane.
As a whole, I really enjoyed the cinematography of the entire trilogy.
Okay, the compound setting though, right? What were you saying? I can't cut you off now.
No, you're fine. I was just saying, as a whole, of a positive note, the cinematography, like the feel. Again, I'm from a small Midwest town, kind of like. Not every Halloween movie nails that fall feeling, that Christmas in the air that gets your fucking, kind of, I don't know, gets me. I get that feeling during normal people get that feeling during Christmas. They get that fuzzy feeling when Christmas is coming. I get that in the fall when the leaves start hitting. And I feel like when the leaves start changing, the wind gets colder in the Midwest, they really nailed the essence of what fall feels like. Because a lot of movies miss the mark. Like H4 nailed the essence of what fall is like. You know what I mean? In a Midwest town.
100%.
Whereas in Resurrection, kind of fell flat. It felt like a movie scene. For them building that entire town in a warehouse, it felt like a real town. Like a real
I wish
Midwest
they
town.
would have left in the dog hanging scene when Allison is running.
Which one?
It's a deleted scene where
she's running down the street and then the cops pick her up.
Well, there's
get her
a
in the
dog
car.
hanging and she sees Michael by the fucking, or maybe she doesn't see him, but it does show him standing.
Yeah, and he sees her and then she gets in the car and either way she drives off. But
what's weird too in 2018 is when they're at the tombstone and Aaron's talking about Judas thing, Sandra looks over and sees Michael by the fucking tree.
and she's like, aren't you supposed to be an expert? Shouldn't you be able to recognize him?
Dude, why is he wearing freaking mental patient outfit?
Yeah, well, there's just an escaped mental guy over here by this fucking tree. Which kind of reminds me of when Rob Zombie's Halloween, when they cut to that, he's just standing by the tree and he's like 9 foot tall, and she like she's not sure if she sees him. Like the dude's 7 foot tall. You're gonna be like, oh fuck.
Yeah, that was probably one of the issues with Rob Zombie's Halloween is trying.
You know what I mean? He's standing next to a tree like
brute.
50 feet from her, and she acts like she's not sure if she saw this giant fucking monster.
But yeah, so trying to think of I don't know. Yeah, I think the ending scene with the compound and stuff with Laurie's like house. I always thought that 2018 should have ended in some sort of house. and I thought that Dave, Vicky, and the other dude, Oscar, could have
A
actually.
house with everyone together, not Lori's
Yeah,
house. It
yeah.
should have
Michael.
ended with
Yeah,
all final act bloodbath. All the teenagers are together.
yeah.
Lori finds out there's a party. She has
Or
to go
across
to
the street from each other, bro. Like, oh, you know what? I'm actually gonna go. Oh man, I wanted like almost.
just
It
like
is a light remake of '78, so I did
yeah,
want to see some shit sort of recreated because it's almost like some things never change with the teenagers. They're still doing this shit. They're still babysitting from across the street from each other. They're still babysitting together and throwing parties while doing it. You know, that could have been the upgraded, modernized version. Is that they don't babysit from across from each other. Now all the teens meet up at wherever somebody's babysitting and they like put the kid to bed and go and smoke weed. It wasn't like that in '78. They were wanting to bang more. They wanted to have sex. But now it's like they want to just all hang out and do drugs. Damn, bro, that would have been so cool, man. You know?
yeah, because you could have had it like again that third act, bloodbath.
And when you speak about off-screen shit, I wanted to see Dave's kill, dude. His head twisted and stabbed to the man. That would have been sick.
At least we got to see the tattoo because at first I was pissed they didn't show the tattoo when he's like, "We're gonna remember this for the rest of our life." And it's just the date 10/31/18,
The
2018.
shittiest tattoo of all time.
Yeah, like what was the significance of him getting that tattoo? Do you think he was gonna like lose his virginity that night, so he got the tattoo ahead of time?
And again, I think Blumhouse does that a lot, was where they'll set something up and not really pay it off.
Yeah, I think that's the real overall theme of this is like they give you kind of what you want, but they don't really finish their thought.
Yeah, and then the fan service is just kind of wild, dude. Like, even
It's
in,
too much.
I'm not talking about ends, but if you were to talk about ends, like just this one shot, there's like a Phelps garage a Phelps garage like business card or something like that on, or a flyer on the fridge, and it's like, just stop doing that, dude. Like, 18 was littered with that, and
The problem is the average person watching has no idea any of that shit exists. But us,
yeah,
that's really for the real fans. But it became a point where the real fans noticed all of it and it
right,
became too much. It was like
yeah,
every scene had an homage to something in
yeah.
78. There was a tie almost in every scene where there was a mention of a character from the first movie, the original, or again, a mention
Even
of one of the
on the
sequels.
phone, it was what, Sally, right? The reference, and then it was Mr. Elrod.
Elrod's in the house. I mean, Resurrection on the van. There's so many, again, like there's so many other ones that we probably have skipped over.
But the shit like the bathroom with H2O is fine. Do shit like that. Like, I don't need like on the nose shit, bro.
Yeah, I don't need you to deliberately do it. You can sneak it in there, just like that bathroom scene. And yeah, if that's what they were doing, or it just happens to
And
be a
then
coincidence. But
yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the mutilation of Michael either. I think
the losing of the fingers.
Mustafa Akkad wasn't a big fan of that either. I know there's a lot of rumors that he could never die, but I think what Mustafa really wanted was Michael to never be mortally wounded, where he was decapitated or had limbs cut off or something like that.
Misfigured, disfigured.
Disfigured, yeah. And I think a lot of people get that misconception. But
Yeah, now
yeah.
he's
So that's, yeah. So then I'm like, you got to stick with that. And
yeah.
they
So the
did,
rest of the fucking trilogy,
to their
buddy.
credit, but it's like, yeah, it was a little weird. I
And
don't know.
again, premature. If you're gonna damage him, do it in the third one, but where him and Lori are battling it out, and let him have to fight her off pretty damaged.
Oh, dude, she could have put his hand in the fucking garbage thing and it would have actually taken two fingers off.
Something, but like because obviously, I mean, again, I'm not trying to say, but like a man versus a woman fight like that, the guy's got the edge.
Well,
So
yeah,
you
so
need
let's
to.
talk about it for the 2018 portion then, because, you know, they go at it upstairs, and that was all right for me. It was much better than the ends fight because it's actually her. It's not an equal fight, and I can't stand. Some of my buddies are like, "Well, she's been through this so many." It doesn't matter. Michael Myers is Michael Myers. No matter how much experience you have, no female has. Well, so what? She's fighting dudes every single day. You know how many people Michael has killed? and how
And
strong
again,
he is. Like, dude.
she's 60 years old. She's a
Yeah, so
grandmother.
the 2018 fight was a little more believable. She had to bite him,
Mm-hmm. It's a
and
little
then
scrappier.
he throws her out of the window, and since she got up and scurried away, that's fine. I don't care about that. And he goes over and looks, and she's gone.
Yeah.
That type of fan service is not as bad to me as like a Phelps garage thing on the refrigerator.
Yeah.
So I like that. I was like, all right, that's cool, man. But then you kind of just kept going with it. And it was like, oh, she's stalking him and killing him now. Because she appears behind him out of the dark like Michael did and nails him with the frying pan. And
It's not a cage, baby. It's a trap.
oh, a little cringe. A little cringe.
I can't do it, Mom. I can't. Gotcha.
Yeah,
That part I hated so much.
that's a little bit like, oh, we're running out of time, so we can wrap up here. But I think so that means we got what, 10 minutes then? That's like a do your thing, cuz type thing from Leather.
Oh no, nothing will ever be worse than Do Your Thing, Cuz, bro. I saw that in
Do your
theaters.
thing,
My
cuz, bro.
balls, my actual balls sucked up into my body. I cringed so
Oh
hard.
man, yeah.
I literally went, "Oh no, she didn't." Like she didn't just fucking say that.
Well, she also does like the nod. Do you think, cuz? And then it's like,
She goes, "Do your thing, Cuz," and like throws it to him
no, stop it.
Not to talk about Texas Chainsaw real quick, but imagine how much more powerful that scene is if she just looks at him, the guy at the sheriff or whatever, looks at Leatherface, looks back at him, and just chucks the chainsaw and says nothing. Like it could have been
Gotta
so
have
much
this
more powerful
cinematic
than
one
"Dear
line.
thing, Cuz." Like that probably is the worst movie line, any horror movie, the worst line of any horror movie ever made, to me, in my opinion, and that's a bold statement.
Oh, well, all right, but Evil dies tonight. Remember she said that?
Evil Dies Tonight's bad.
That was the
They
first
said it-
introduction to that. Well, okay, but Evil dies tonight. Said it for no reason.
Had they just used it once or twice, it wouldn't have pissed me off as much. But it was literally a 30-minute segment of that for no reason.
Well, why don't we wrap up 2018? Overall, I thought 2018 was good, but I absolutely loved the movie. And then I would say right after he bumps into the kid with the oh, I'm sorry, and then he does the head turn and does the whole thing, the one track shot. That's where it falls off for me. And there's a lot of things I think could have been shuffled either around or, like I said, have the teens at the. You don't have to do the full idea where Laurie is not at the compound. Fine, put Laurie at the compound, but I think Michael should have stalked the kids. Allison is the last one out of there, like we saw. And then when she sees him at the thing, he does chase her. And she doesn't find neighbors. She goes to Laurie's compound. And that's why Michael goes there, dude. Like and I thought that just would have been much, so it kind of
because
fell apart.
realistically, he just stomps the doctor's face and finds that compound on his own, essentially.
Yeah. I think he might see Allison running through the woods, right?
Is that what it is?
Yeah, she takes off. So he takes out the dude. And he's just standing there looking at him as he watches her take off, but he doesn't care because he's about to stomp this dude's head in. So I think he knows that she's in, but it's Michael. He's going to follow her, and wherever she goes, he's going to get there. And then it's, boy.
She probably should have just stole that cop car. I don't know why she would run through the woods. You know what I mean?
No, dude, Michael friggin' destroyed the front seat. You can't probably even. It's probably like slumped over and damaged so bad that you probably can't even get up in it anymore.
No, dude, that's a Chevy Tahoe.
Because remember, he kicks that whole thing forward and like uproots the whole chair structure.
Oh, I'm still driving it.
Yeah, I mean, if you could, but I'm saying if he bent the frames and stuff to where it's metal against everything, and it's like she has to. That'd actually be pretty tight if she could, like, you know what I'm saying, muscle it down. But anyways, if we get cut off, that was our basically review, and it's not really a review. We're just doing like a look back and seeing like if we still feel the same. Do you still feel the same? I don't know if I feel the same way. I think I do though, because I never was really huge on 2018. I was just kind of like accepting of it and being like, yeah, it's a good Halloween movie.
I thought it was a fair film, a good jumping off point for a series that's only going to get better, and I was wildly wrong about that. It is the best one out of all three. I think it's wildly arguably the most watchable out of all three, start to finish.
Yeah. Oh,
And
exactly. I think it is too. Yeah, it's a little more
there's
grounded.
moments of cool stuff in kills and ends. There's some stuff in ends that's okay. I wouldn't say cool, but it's all right. It's just 18 I thought was going to be the build and the setup. Again, why do half of those characters need to die in 18 even? Why can't some of more of
Right.
those characters carry over and you build this storyline? They're getting stalked and chased through the whole of 18, and then they meet their demise in kills. Because,
Corey should have been a definite character in 18 in passing in the high school or something where they bump into him and Cameron's like, watch where you're fucking going or something.
yeah,
He's like, oh, I'm sorry. And then he keeps walking.
yes,
He never
they should not have
But it's
introduced
because they
him.
write these on the go, bro. They don't care
Yeah.
like that. They'd be writing these on the go, bumhouse.
It feels like they didn't write all three at once. They wrote one
Yeah.
and then they tried to tag them all together.
Well, and then maybe what they had originally didn't pan out. You know, I think I was so freaking brokenhearted that Returns didn't work out that I was like, this better be like super, super good because I was so excited for the premise of Returns.
I mean, I'll give it 3.5 pumpkins.
Out of 10? God damn.
Oh no, I was going out of 5.
Oh,
Out of
all
10,
right.
if we're going 10, probably.
Well, if
like
you wanted to go through the categories, honestly, dude, it's like Michael's appearance, portrayal, and it was like story plot line, and then it had Halloween atmosphere, and then music. And it
So
was
I already touched atmosphere. I thought atmosphere was great. Music is solid, very solid.
music was like a 10 out of 10. Pumpkin.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I won't give anything a 10, but I'll give it like a solid 9. Michael's appearance, I liked. I feel like they didn't do everything they could have with the rotting of a mask,
That
but they did their own take on it, which was cool, and it looked like it looked the part. You know, even if you've never seen it,
That's Michael.
you could
okay.
hold that mask up, and someone would go, "Oh, that's a Michael Myers mask."
Well, for the fanfare, it's like I loved it, but it's like if you're looking at it objectively in terms of continuity, then he'd have to be like a 5 because I mean he's grown so many inches. Old people shrink, and it's like, you know, as much as I love the 2018 and Justin Mabry, you're the man. You had a big part in making that, and that's awesome. As much as I love it, it didn't. The features honestly didn't really resemble that much of the 78, to be honest. Like I didn't see that as
No,
a rod. So but it's still its own cool mask. But I look for continuity when I score, so that's why it's like, you know, 2018 Michael is in the fan in me. He's James Ducournau's awesome. So it's like he gets like a 7 or an 8 for me. But it's like,
I think I'm right there with you on that.
yeah, but for continuity, if I was like a film person that watched 78 and was looking for this to be a perfect continuation, you have to take points off because he's bigger.
Yeah, he's a little taller,
And the mask is different.
and the mask is different.
And not just different because it's scarred, it's different because it does
Like
not have Shatner.
the facial structure is different. You know,
A big part of that is the lip dips go down. But anyway, so story and plot line is fine. I'll give that like a 5 or a 6, you know, because they played it safe. Michael has been locked away, and now he escapes again.
I feel like plot. I give it a 5.
That's what I'm saying, a 5
And
or
that's
6.
a generous 5 because they could have done, again, they could have changed so much more, and the movie flowed to an extent, but not in the way I would have liked to have flowed.
I think Blumhouse formula is like, oh, okay, we're here, we're doing this. Oh wait, no, we're back here. They try to throw a lot of things at you and make it their style. Like, oh,
I
that's
think
cool,
that
right?
was
We're
them
here,
also
now we're-
trying to squeeze in a ton of the homages from
Yeah,
the other
yeah.
films. So it's like, how do we get all of this stuff in that we want to get in, as well as write a plot around it, and also keep it under an hour and a half?
Well, there's
You know,
this
just-
interview that I cannot find now before we get out of here with Danny McBride. And he was saying that he had they had a script where if Jamie Lee Curtis was to reject, and he's on the truck, a hood of a truck, answering this question to somebody, and he said, "Yeah, we had a script before Jamie Lee Curtis, but we didn't expect her to say yes." I wonder what that script was before Jamie Lee Curtis.
I would be wildly interested in seeing what that is as well without Laurie.
And they said that he said originally we were gonna have somebody else play Laurie, and it wasn't gonna be like a huge thing, like.
Oh, she was going to be like she was. See, I don't know if I want her in it. If Jamie Lee Curtis is playing Laurie, I don't. Or is it? I don't want Laurie in it.
Well,
You
it
know?
sounded a lot to me like a flashback type deal.
Gotcha. I mean, you can only do. I guess that's why they probably added the flashback to the second one. But and then what was the other thing?
Should have let it slide, bro. I mean, the original flashback for Halloween 2018 and not kills, don't get it confused, was that they wanted to have. That's why the original bedroom is created that Laurie's up in. That's she's searching for Michael, and that's recreated from the 78. That's the bedroom. And they wanted to kill Dr. Loomis. He was going to come in and save it, and they were gonna Michael was to put him against the wall, I guess, and stab him a bunch of times or some shit. That was going to be the 2018 flashback.
See, I never read that.
Yeah.
Which
and then I think Carpenter was the one that was like, yeah, don't do that. Why don't we kill this 18 discuss? Do you have anything else to add about 18?
Oh yeah, here we can cut here. Just start over on the wrap up on 18. We'll just finish out on 18.
I'm not starting over anything. We're just gonna.
So the movie opens. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I was like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
So
him and I are very, very much drinks into this, dude. That's
yeah.
Restarting. I'm happy where we're at though. No, it was a fun video. We're gonna do more of these. Let us know what you think. Do you guys think that well, first of all, if you stuck with us till the end, then thank you. It's definitely gonna be a long one, and this is what I consider a special.
Absolutely.
This is what I consider a special. So this is why I said we should name the podcast and have it be a podcast when we do these long ass reviews, bro.
Yeah, we can call it special education because that's what we're doing here.
Horror University, bro. I thought that shit was hard as shit.
But yeah, I mean, we'll name the podcast later. Right now, we're kind of just we're feeling it out, you know.
Yeah, but let us know, dude, because obviously, it ain't no problem with us. There's not gonna be an issue with us. The issue is what do you not what do you want us to do. We're gonna do what we want, dude, because this is fun. This is what we like to do. But there's definitely after ends and after kills and ends, we'll we may be taking suggestions on maybe if you guys want to see a movie for us to review that maybe Jay and I haven't seen or that Jay and I have seen.
Or if you guys know there's some things you want to talk about in ends and kills or kills and ends, leave comments and we'll touch on those subjects.
Right.
We'll make notes and we'll touch on those. Raise some questions for us. Raise some points and we'll discuss them. That's
dude, some people are 100% not going to agree with our assessments here, but that's what the comments are for. Let us know.
Yeah, and also if you need any masks, get a hold of your boy Alex there. I'm about to order an H5. I think he's got me talked into it because I don't have an H5 mask up here yet. Dude.
So I know you didn't watch the H5 video, so let's not even pretend like you did. So you can go back after this video and check out the H5 mask video I did. There's 2 copies though, to be honest, and they're very good copies, dude. In that H5 video. So everybody like, comment, and subscribe. That's going to be it for the Halloween 18 video. And I actually wanted to do this a little longer to see how everyone likes it. So yeah, we're going to do this. Next time we'll be back for kills. And then 18, then 18, then 18 again. Yo, it's been a long night. So
no, I'm done with 18. This is our second time you and I have gotten together and talked about 18. What I will say is, if you're ready for me to be the most animated, passionate person that you've ever seen talking about horror movies, come back for kills because I'm going to say some things. I have so many more thoughts on kills than I do on 18. And quite frankly, I may blow a gasket at some point.
What?
Because I get so fucking mad at that movie. I get so mad at kills. And then if you want to see me really lose it,
you're fucking up.
Ends is when I'm gonna fucking blow a gasket. Because if I would confront him and go, "What the fuck were you guys thinking?"
Well, luckily we didn't hear who that was because because your mic messed up, so we didn't hear who you threatened. So
Danny McBride specifically. If I see him, it's on site. I will call it Danny McBride out.
All right, so
and I love Danny McBride. Don't get me wrong. I think he's great. I just some questionable decision making in this trilogy, and I would like to know if it was more because of Jamie Lee Curtis. Were they appeasing her and her vision to get her to do it? Or were they all on the same page? I would really truly like to know the real story because you're only going to get the politically correct public story But I'm curious if that's, and I'll probably never have that answer because I'm never going to run into Dana McBride at a Walmart. But,
Well, there was like rumors of her. Well, first of all, that's the end of the 18 video. We're probably gonna blab on here, but if
yeah, we're going to talk until
we
whatever.
talk a lot of BS, so definitely like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you on Kills.